Hi guys, welcome back to YEPSCast, the podcast brought to you by young people
for young people. Today our special guest is Martin Berwick.
Hi Martin, would you like to introduce yourself further?
Yeah, sure. My name's Martin Berwick. I'm the Specialist Antisocial Behaviour Liaison Officer for the Cynon Taf Youth Offenders Service. I also coordinate the Right Hook project and the Youth Outreach project as well.
Thank you. We know that you bother with antisocial behaviour with young people, and we'd like to ask you a few questions about that.
Sure.
Why do people stereotype teenagers and young people in a negative way?
I think a lot of it's got to do with media, social media, etc. I think it's the majority of articles about young people are negative. It's basically 28% of articles for young people paint them in a negative light, whereas only 14% paint them in a positive light. You know, so I think it's a perception of young people is very negative across the board.
Do you think this negative effect on young people affects them mentally?
Yeah, definitely. I think they're being dealt a bit of a tough hand, really, because if you think of a situation where there's a lot of young people hanging around together, only a small minority of them might be doing something wrong. They might be acting in an antisocial manner. And antisocial behaviour is basically anything that causes alarm, harassment or distress to somebody else. So for argument's sake, if there's 30 young people in an area, 2 or 3 are playing up, acting a bit silly, the whole group could be deemed as acting in an antisocial behaviour manner. So the whole lot of sort of paint with the same brush. Does that make sense? So yeah, it's unfair for young people at the moment.
Thank you. Why do you think also that children or young people feel the need to cause antisocial behaviour?
I think a lot of young people don't realise that they're causing antisocial behaviour. I think a lot of antisocial behaviour stems from boredom and also from peer pressure. If young people are doing things and their friends are telling them to do stuff and they're bored, they tend to do it, not realising the effect it has on other people. For an example, just a simple thing like knocking on somebody's door and running away. They think it's a laugh and a joke, but it's not. There's somebody behind that door who could be scared, they could be frightened, they could be upset. They don't understand that, they don't think things through. So, yeah, I think I say it's peer pressure. There's 2 types of peer pressure, positive and negative. There's a lot of negative peer pressure at the moment.
What do you think peer pressure can do to mental health?
That's a good question. I think if you're sort of being coerced into things you don't want to do, that puts a lot of pressure on a young person then. And that's an internal battle they've got to sort of deal with, which is something that's unfortunately happening more and more and more, especially with things like TikTok and social media, where people are filming everything, is a thing where people are trying to go bigger and better as well. So if somebody says do this, because so-and-so done this, you've got to try and do that. And it's a bit of it's a nightmare at the moment.
So it's like a constant battle.
I think so, yeah. It's not a positive battle, is it?
Yeah. Thank you.
Martin, we live in the local area, Porth, and we notice a lot of antisocial behaviour around Hannah Street and other areas. Do you think you could take us and show us some of the antisocial hotspots?
Yeah.
Hi, this is our antisocial area that we've been aware of. Martin, would you please be kind enough to tell us about some of the behaviour you've viewed around this area?
Yeah, as a quad goes past. Sorry. Yeah, at the moment we get a lot of young people congregating here, which obviously makes other people feel a little bit threatened, etc. We've also got problems with suit-on bikes, that we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
That seems to be a bit of a trend with young people at the moment, which is causing a lot of problems. We've got a lot of young people on the train tracks up and down, jumping off trains, and a lot of verbal abuse. I think the main thing is just the large quantities of young people turning up here, because it's a bit of a focal hub at the moment, and it's really easily accessible. It's just the large numbers and the language, and people just acting silly, throwing rugby balls around in the street, and playing football with not really a football pitch, is it? Just things like that. Things that could be avoided, but hence why we get asked. Yeah, so we get called up. We get asked to come out here by the Community Safety Partnership. It's like I mentioned earlier. Every morning I get an email from the Community Safety Partnership telling me where the antisocial behaviours happened. We build a picture from there. So myself and my team with the outreach project, we'll come up, sometimes with our partners, the police, It could be with the sexual health team. It could be with the British Transport Police. We'll come here and try and engage with the young people and find out why they're doing antisocial behaviour. Is there anything else we can support them with? Because we'd rather divert them away from becoming involved in antisocial behaviour. We don't want all these young people converging. So we can link them in with things like YEPS, etc. It makes our job a lot easier. It gives the young people something to do, and the perception of young people becoming involved in antisocial behaviour will reduce. Members of the public feel more safe coming here.
Do the young people cooperate when you approach them?
Yeah, I think we're in a lucky position because a lot of the young people know us. They know us through the Right Hope Project. They know us through outreach anyway. A lot of the staff who work with us are case managers. So the young people have been in trouble previously with the police. They've worked with our service anyway, so we've sort of got that rapport with the young people anyway. We don't get any sort of nonsense off them. They're good as gold. They know we're there to help. We're not there to persecute them. We're not there to tell them off. We're just there to try and support them. So yeah, we don't, it's an easy way of, the engagement's already there, if that makes sense.
How do you think the antisocial behaviour makes the people in the community feel?
It affects them. It does, affects a lot. As we just spoke with an elderly lady then, first thing she said about was the young people in the area. It's definitely affecting them. And the local authority spend millions and millions on this depot, and it's being spoiled because there's so many young people coming here. So a lot of people won't hang around in the area. People want people getting picked up from cars instead of taking the trains and stuff like that. So it's definitely affecting the area. And it's not just here. It's Hannah Street and the surrounding streets as well. Lots of reports come in of antisocial behaviour young people, and it's on a daily basis.
Yeah, I know a lot of people can feel intimidated while having to walk past big gangs of kids, or trying to get a bus and there'd be loads of kids messing around them. They might feel like scared that they're going to, say, get hit by a rugby ball or by a scooter. Yeah. The loud noises might affect them. Yeah. It does,
yeah, I agree on that. I think if young people were diverted away elsewhere, then people would feel safe to sort of come and catch buses. If young people are feeling intimidated, elderly people feel intimidated, something's got to change, isn't it? Yeah. Definitely. And that's across the board.
Do you have any places that you would suggest young people to hang around instead of public places like these?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because
you can't exactly just move.
Yeah, if you move them on, they're going to go somewhere else. There are youth clubs, stuff like that. There are things they can do. So if they can engage in that, even better. But if we move them on from here, they're going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So it's just a case of engaging with them, trying to educate them, and trying to explain to them that what they are doing is causing issues for other people. Then fingers crossed they might start thinking, oh well, let's not all just go. Let's go somewhere else. Let's do something else. Because you don't want 50 or 60 young people moving from here somewhere else. Because at the end of the day, being in a town centre in this sort of area, they are kind of safe because we've got CCTV and stuff like that. So obviously our main concern is keeping young people safe. Yeah. We'd rather them sort of be in an area where they are safe than going somewhere that could be dangerous.
Yeah.
But if a behaviour causes alarm, harassment, or distress with somebody else, then it's antisocial behaviour. What a young person thinks they're doing, it could be a laugh and a joke and being cool and doing TikTok and doing this and doing that. They don't realise that that's affecting somebody else. But yeah, we don't expect every young person just to be a complete and utter angel, because you can't. You've got to have fun. But just whether that fun oversteps the mark.
When you go up to someone and speak to them about antisocial behaviour, what do you do when you need to do the next step up if they don't listen?
If they don't want to speak to us, fine. It's up to them. We're not there to, if we're out with the police and they act in an antisocial manner and they've been advised by the police to stop and they don't, the police have got to do their job then. If it's, at the end of the day, the police are there to protect the community as well. So if a young person is causing antisocial behaviour or acting in a criminal manner, they need to be dealt with. But we're there as well. If a young person don't want to speak to us, it's their prerogative. 99% of the time they do. We have a bit of fun, a bit of banter with them, that sort of stuff. But we're not there we can't tell them to talk to us. We won't go into their sort of territory, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. We appreciate you taking us out and showing us the antisocial hotspots. We think that showing the young people that antisocial behaviour isn't right is a good thing, so that they can learn from their experiences.
Perhaps.
Would you like to play a quick fire round?
Yeah, go on then.
Quick fire round. Right. A quick fire round is we'll ask questions and all three of us have to answer with the first question that comes to our head.
Right.
I'll start.
One word that describes young people today.
Impulsive.
Active.
Scared.
One word people use about young people that you disagree with.
Asbos.
Wait. Like naughty.
Ignorant. One thing you think young people deserve more of.
Recognition.
No, I was going to say that.
Sorry.
It's okay. Help.
Respect.
Nice.
Yeah. Good job.
Thank you.
No problem, thank you.
What is some advice for young people you would like to, I don't know, give them right now?
In regards to...
In regards to like what to do if you're stuck in antisocial behaviour
right,
and you're
okay.
not sure what to do.
Okay. Speak to somebody. If you feel pressurised into becoming involved in antisocial behaviour, speak to somebody you trust. If it's an adult, an older sibling, it could be relatives, it could be youth workers, it could be teachers, it could be PCSOs, it could be police officers. It's anybody you trust and to give you some advice to sort of move away from it. Because if you can change your circumstances, if that means leaving your friendship circle to try and get involved in other activities, like for example, if you don't engage in youth work and you spend more time on the street, try and get involved with youth work. Link it with the YEPS, etc. Things like that, you know. There are people out there who care. So people like the YEPS, ourselves with the Youth Justice Service, people with the police, etc. We're all there to safeguard young people, keep you safe and give you options. So just link it with the ones you know, they are out there for you. And speak to your other friends as well. They might have groups you can join in with, stuff like that as well.
Thank you, that was really helpful.
No problems.
Do you mind us asking about your Right Hook project?
Yeah, go for it.
What caused you to start the project?
I was invited, been involved in sports all my life, etc. So I know the sort of the help sports can give people. It diverts you away from trouble, so on and so on. But I got invited up to London by an organisation called Fight for Peace, who are a worldwide organisation who use combat sports to combat gang violence. So I went up there, did some work with them, and then came back down and set it up because I think that young people need the option to become involved in combat sports, martial arts, etc., and to work on a personal development level. So, yeah, we started off on a very low-level basis. A couple of young people coming through, and now it's built and built and built and built and built. And it's a good way of actually engaging young people. So a typical session for a Right Hook project would be the young people come to the gym, we train together, and then once we finish training, we'll sit down, we eat, we sit down, we just talk. So it's a very sort of relaxed atmosphere.
Yeah.
Everybody's tired, everybody's sweaty.
Yeah.
You know, you just sat there and you talk about everything, anything and everything. So it could be you talking about substance misuse, you could be talking about county lines, you could be talking about alien invasions. It doesn't matter, you're just talking, you're just building up, you know, building that sort of
Trust.
mutual respect and trust. And then, you know, if the young people got any concerns, then that's when the conversations take place.
Yeah.
Because it breaks down the barriers, you know. We've got obviously YJS staff, we got world-class coaches, we got police officers who come in. You know, police officers come in and train with us as well. It breaks down the barriers. You know, so young people feel comfortable talking. Yeah, it's working.
So this project was very inspirational for young people.
I think so. I think a lot of people get a lot out of it. You know, young people are going through a lot of change.
Yeah.
Emotions all over the place, hormones. It's a good place to come in and vent some of that sort of frustration. So you spend 45 minutes punching a bag, or, you know, do some pad work and training and, you know, letting off them endorphins. You feel a lot better for it. You know, so people feel, and that's when the young people come in and they're comfortable talking then. They've got rid of some of that anger, some of that frustration, and then they feel chilled, and that's what it talks. Yeah, it is inspiration. They come in, and young people can become mentors as well. So if they've been coming for quite a while and they're doing really well and they're showing, you know, that they're respectful, and then they become mentors and they sort of take the new ones under their wing. So it's that peer-led support as well, which works really well.
Did you notice change in the amount of antisocial behaviour around the area of the Right Hook project?
Young people who attend the Right Hook project, they tend not to get involved in things well. Antisocial behaviour anymore, because they represent the project.
Yeah.
So And when they come, after they come, they start getting training t-shirts, they get training hoodies, you know, so they're representing us. So I think it's a little bit of ownership as well, that they don't want to make the project look bad either.
Yeah.
And I said, and the work is done when we're in the gym, we're talking. It's not just a boxing project, it's personal development. So we explain then about what antisocial behaviour is. I think if you took a young person in the police station to talk about antisocial behaviour, they're not really going to listen.
Yeah.
But if you sat them down in the gym, you're sweaty messes, and you've had a fun session, then they're going to listen, they're going to talk, and they'll open up more as well. They can tell you why they're getting involved in antisocial behaviour. And we're not talking at them, it's a two-way conversation.
Yeah.
You know, so it gives, young people got a voice as well.
So the mutual respect is there.
Yeah. We want to know why they're getting involved in antisocial behaviour. Not just there to say you can't get involved,
Yeah.
don't do antisocial behaviour.
What's causing it?
Exactly. There's always a backstory, isn't there? You know, we need to find out what the backstory is and then work on it.
Thank you.
No problems.
Thank you so much for coming in today. We appreciate your time, all your concerns and answering our questions.
We believe this will be like really helpful to the viewers watching and to anyone who's in a like rough patch or a hard time. It's really helpful, thank you.
No problems. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.